This level took a bit longer to record and edit together than previous levels, primarily because, as funny as it sounds, the simpler the game and toolset I had to work with got, the more complex my levels became. With no real capture card that can handle the Switch recording, doing only 30 seconds at a time at such complex levels, it really took some doing, let me tell you. Despite that, I love the desert theme and want to do something way more robust than anything I had done before. I wanted to explore the vertical space yet again, like in Tilt Platform Peaks, but in a way that didn't stress the engine with jump through platforms. It's a lengthy stage, but with plenty of secrets and even 2 sub-areas put in just for fun. I'm very proud with how this level turned out, and I give it the RCG recommended seal of approval. This is definitely one you should be checking out. It'll give you some tricky challenges, but nothing too outlandish, and you'll get some nice Super Mario Bros. 3 eye candy along the way. Enjoy the video, and try out the level when you get a chance. Like most levels that I make these days, I actually like to put a lot of secrets in, and this is more true than ever now that my toolset has simplified a little bit going back to the Super Mario Bros. 3 era. And right off the bat, you can tell there's a pink coin just out of reach, and you're going to have to get to an alternate route to get to that one. Now, this is the first level where I've started experimenting with, I don't even know what this is called, the Goomba Boot, and figuring out the capabilities and functions and features of this particular power-up, which is actually really game-breaking. I mean, you can even hop on chain chomps and not even get hurt, so it's pretty broken. Anyway, this is the part where I'm most proud of, this overall vertical section. I mean, you get to see a part of it all the way down, which I think was a nice little touch. Last-minute inspiration, if you will, before I started building this whole section. I just kind of wanted to give players a little bit of a hint of the whole next section of the level they're going to be traversing. And then, of course, introduce the angry sun at the very end. Which, by the way, I found out does not travel with you if you happen to start up a little bit later on in the level in this very section. So if you start further up, you can only put one sun in the entire level, or at least in each sub-area. So if you were to have a checkpoint higher up in this section, he wouldn't appear. So I kind of needed to put the checkpoint down at the bottom where the sun would always appear if you were to start back at that checkpoint. So a lot of platforming, very simple jumps, but a lot of enemies coming up from above, some visible, some not, like that Goomba. So you kind of have to take your way up this vertical section a little bit more slower than you'd want. At least for your first time playing until you can figure out where everything is. But yes, having the little Goomba Boot is super insanely helpful. It gets you an extra hit that you wouldn't otherwise have. And those little windmill, or I don't know what those called, whirlwind gizmos, or whatever they're called, little tornadoes, they're kind of awful in terms of physics, and it'll be pretty evident in the next section that I'm not too keen on using them. I kind of tried testing them out in this one because it just made sense with the desert theme, but overall, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be using them often, just kind of like those little bouncing donuts as well. Don't know if I'm going to be using them a lot. Now this next section, not so vertical, just because I was trying to use up as much space as possible in this level, trying to maximize my use out of both sub-areas, because this is actually kind of a lengthy level. But yeah, the physics of that, I tried like about 5 or 6 times before I spliced ahead to the actual successful time that got me up there. And this is the whole chain chomps in the wind section, kind of got the name for the level. Very crazy, this section, but also really easy to get past if you know what you're doing. A little 50 coin just for anybody who wants to jump up there and brave the chomp chomps. And I also started experimenting with having little mini-bosses in the middle of levels now. This one was actually quite a lot of boom booms, but the one that really matters is the one with wings. And he's actually really easy as long as you stay above him after the first hit. The rest of the enemies don't really matter. You can fight them if you want, but if you're running low on time, just move on. And that's pretty much the entire level. A little bit of a lengthy one, but overall very solid and strong outing on the desert theme here. We got a whole lot of secrets in this level to go through. First one is right here on this first pit, which gets you right underneath that bridge at the beginning with the first pink coin. And it actually gives you access to the first sub-area too. Now this sub-area is actually kind of dangerous. I mean, yes, you get access to these little boots, which give you an extra hit, but there's chompers, or munchers, or whatever you call these things. And they can squish you from above if you happen to be underneath them as they fall back down. But you can get yourself an extra life, power-up, and a lot of coins if you need to. That just puts you back at the end of the first section. Now, the second section has a lot of secrets. First one being, you gotta come up here real quickly and jump on that turtle so you can get to the second pink coin. A little one up here for your troubles. And if you really need it, you have the first power star to get through the next section easier. Doesn't last too long, unfortunately. Right here, an extra power-up if you need it. Okay, and if you noticed from previous, there was actually a blue pipe, and we'll get to that in a second, but there's two ways of getting this coin, via a Goomba Boot, or grabbing a floating Koopa Trooper and throwing the shell at that. But yes, that blue pipe from earlier has a P-switch, and as you've gathered, that's the only way to get to this door right here. Which pretty much skips the rest of this vertical area altogether and puts you at the very top. Although you may have to wait until it turns the blocks back into coins, or you're just not going to make that jump to get the coin. But yeah, it puts you right here at the end. Very handy, that shortcut. However, if you do take that shortcut, you will be missing another pink coin, which I'll be showing you how to get next. And here's your second power star, just in case you need it for the next section, in case you didn't want to take that shortcut. And here's the second sub-area, with the other sun instance in the entire level. So we have a sun in each section of the level, each sub-area. This particular one is not really a fine science in terms of platforming. But you can get a lot of coins this way and another extra life if you're coming up on 100 coins. Now to get this one, well, let's see. You have to throw a Koopa shell at it, which is what I was trying to do, but you can also jump towards it as well if you time it right. But yes, I failed miserably on that one. And here you see me trying again, and it doesn't work, so I just try jumping at it. Either way works. However you get the coin is good. Now, you saw there was a coin off to the left, which I actually didn't record getting. You can just jump at the furthest point on that platform, and at your highest apex of your jump, you should get that big coin. Like, most of this second section here is pretty optional, but you get a couple power-ups for it and a couple big coins as well, of which I fail miserably at. I am not the best Super Mario Bros. Player, by a long shot. Hey, there's a star in here in case you want it. This is the third star of the level, and it gets you through the Chomps in the Wind section very easily, so you can actually start checking out all these question blocks and see what's inside of them. Another mushroom's in those 3 blocks. And there's a hidden one right here, just in case for the Boom Boom fight, a little fire flower. And if you want a little extra help with this Boom Boom battle, which makes it super easy, I hid an awesome secret here, right underneath the key door. The 4th power star. Have fun just tearing this boss apart. Speaking of key doors, if you happen to get all 6 red coins, you get the key, and you can actually skip Boom Boom altogether and go straight to the end. And of course, get an extra life while doing it. Hope you enjoyed this video and try this level out for yourself.